I'm fairly sure we're looking down on an old community of crofts, since improved, but the remnants of one are still discernible just on the right as a small green painted metal roof. That, I believe, is a croft. I'm sure it's a croft for a family. Probably about 10 here. There's probably were more crofts. Some have disappeared, but the remnants are still noticeable. It's agricultural and fishing. The agriculture can still be picked out by the green grass fields. That provided the arable fields, and further on the top of the hill, which the village is sheltered by, the hamlet is sheltered by, is the grazing. It's a mixture of grass and heather. Heather isn't really suitable for grazing. To the right, you can see that it leads down to the sea. You're not able to see the cove, but there's a small narrow cove which shelters, and it's well protected because any storms that come in to the estuary, small estuary, are then not directly into the small cove. So it's ideally suited. It's sheltered from the weather. You can see the original road runs horizontal almost down to the cove. It's located about 40 miles east-west of Thurso. Thurso is to the east, and in 1860 the train station was built. The train had arrived, and quite a festive occasion that was. Thurso, very prosperous town, and it's in about of agricultural area, so it was able to support a large community. It had all existed before the railway had arrived. So North Scotland really depends on how much you can grow, how much food you can produce, to how many people can actually live here, without the price of the food rising beyond the incomes of the people. This is quite clear with Adam Smith's references to North Scotland, which makes it very interesting to read what he said on his common sense economics when you are in an area which doesn't have the benefit of easy transport. What does it cost? And in these areas, white bread costs more per weight than meat. And it was very difficult for him to understand this. And it's mentioned in The Wealth of Nations. It's not until you get to North Scotland that this all becomes predominantly clear how it actually works. And it's about how easy it is to get goods from plenty to areas where there is little. It's quite remarkable to find this. I encourage you to visit North Scotland, and as you travel westwards, you notice the gradual decline in the quality of agriculture. And living on moor is very, very harsh. What it does provide is fuel, and the peat in places is quite deep. Some of it is almost 2 meters before bedrock. It's a lot of fuel. It was used as the only source of fuel, and it still is.